The Aliyah Boston and Brittney Griner situation has reached a kind of a level that I never thought we would see it. It has reached one of these weird levels where I'm like, oh God, this is one of those things where it's not a good look for Brittney Griner. It's not a good look for the WNBA because let's be completely real. These players are crying.
That sound you're hearing isn't just irritation. It's the reaction of someone watching a situation spin far beyond what anyone expected. What began as routine competitive tension between two elite centers has grown into something the WNBA likely didn't anticipate. Brittney Griner, an 8-time All-Star and Olympic gold medalist, is openly targeting Aliyah Boston across social media platforms. And this isn't subtle. She's actively searching her own name, tracking down posts, and firing back at fans who question her performances against Boston. This doesn't feel like a carefully managed public relations strategy. It feels emotional. It feels personal.
Somebody posts on, again, I didn't even think I don't have Threads. I don't even know what it is. I made a Blue Sky because someone told me to make a Blue Sky and then never posted on it. But someone says Brittney Griner is a dirty player who's jealous of Aliyah Boston. There's no way Brittney Griner is jealous of Aliyah Boston. Like, let's be real. Brittney Griner and Aliyah Boston get into it every single time the Fever play the Phoenix.
To understand why this escalated, you have to start with what actually happened on the floor. Every time the Indiana Fever faced the Phoenix Mercury this season, Boston's presence in the post created a challenge Griner struggled to neutralize. Boston operates with disciplined fundamentals, tight elbows, quick spins, clean positioning. It's classic interior basketball, but after absorbing that kind of contact possession after possession, even technically sound play can start to feel intentional. The tipping point arrived during a regular season matchup. After taking another hit from a Boston move, a visibly frustrated Griner reacted by swiping at Boston's face. The officials called a flagrant foul. Should it have resulted in an ejection? Many would argue yes, yet the bigger story extends beyond that moment. Phoenix repeatedly found itself forced to sit Griner for long stretches when facing Indiana because Boston was dismantling their pick-and-roll defense. Think about that, a max-level veteran becoming difficult to play against a second-year center.
Why would I be jealous of someone when I've played against legends and goats? She ain't got shit I want or ever want. Like, what? Like, there's no way. There's actually no way. WNBA players feeling the urge to search their names. I'm fully convinced of that. I am fully convinced. She's right. I hate jazz guy. Yeah, I actually do think that's the weirdest argument. They don't like each other. They play against each other. They play the same position.
Then things spilled off the court. A random social media user posted that Griner played dirty and was jealous of Boston, the type of internet noise professional athletes usually ignore. But Griner didn't scroll past it. She answered directly, questioning why she would envy anyone after competing against legends and all-time greats, suggesting Boston didn't possess anything she wanted. That response wasn't just a rebuttal to a troll, it sounded like a message aimed squarely at Boston. And it didn't stop there. Griner continued, warning Boston not to get caught up in hype and emphasizing that not every player belongs in the same category. The implication was unmistakable. Experience separates them, and Boston hasn't earned that level yet. The translation? I've been here. You haven't.
It's like, I mean, I'm gonna be completely real. Brittney Griner has 3-4 Olympic golds. Yeah, I don't think Aliyah's getting 4 Olympic golds. Maybe more rings. But, like, mental. Absolutely mental. That being said, like, she is clearly just searching her name. Bigs in the league really hate AB. They absolutely do. They absolutely hate Aliyah Boston. And you know what? I fucking love it.
What's striking is what might be missing from Griner's argument. Her resume speaks for itself. Olympic gold medals, championships, years of dominance against elite competition. Few players can match that legacy. Boston may never accumulate those exact accolades, but what she does possess appears to be unsettling the current balance. Her style exposes a structural challenge in Griner's game, one that carries real financial consequences. The WNBA is evolving towards speed, defensive versatility, and bigs who can comfortably switch in space. Griner's towering frame once guaranteed matchup advantages, but against fast guards orchestrating pick-and-roll actions with a mobile partner like Boston, Phoenix often ran out of solutions. At times, they simply couldn't keep Griner on the floor. That matters. After a season marked by these struggles, particularly versus Indiana, future contract value becomes a legitimate question. Boston didn't just outperform her opponent, she highlighted limitations league executives will absolutely evaluate. Over the final chapters of a career, that kind of exposure can translate into millions.
Fever fan, I don't want opponents to like my players. Like, I don't want the other team's bigs to like my center. Imagine being in a world where where a big is having to worry about whether or not they're liked. Imagine if a big is
From a fan's perspective though, this is the intensity you want. Not online sparring, but fierce competition between the lines. Many interior players genuinely dislike matching up with Boston. She frustrates them, they jaw at her, they lean into physicality. That's not disrespect, that's recognition. Compare it with the way opponents approach Aja Wilson. There's clear respect, but sometimes there's also a sense of familiarity, almost too much comfort. Friendships off the court can occasionally soften the edge during games. Wilson benefits from that dynamic because once the ball is tipped, she competes with ruthless focus. Boston doesn't get that cushion. Opponents meet her with force every night. Phoenix challenges her. Connecticut battles her on every possession. Las Vegas raises the intensity whenever they collide, and honestly, that's ideal. If you're a championship caliber center, popularity isn't the goal. Dominance is.
for Aja because there is a competitive respect. People literally, there are players that don't give their 100% matching up to Aja Wilson, and it is what it is. It's not that there's respect, because you obviously respect their game, but that they're not even confident themselves. Not even confident themselves. Like, it's all we're buddy with Aja, and Aja Wilson's a fucking killer. Let's be real. Aja Wilson can seem buddy with you and all that, but she's just using that to her advantage. Like, she definitely wanted to, play against the Atlanta Dream in the second round because she knows Alicia Gray would struggle against them, and the Atlanta Dream fans would actually be Aces fans and they cheer for both teams, and there's no hostile environment. We want the other teams. As a Fever fan,
look at this from Griner's basketball lens for a moment. She's correct. Boston hasn't reached the heights she has. 4 Olympic gold medals alone place Griner in historic territory. Add titles and sustained excellence against icons like Tina Charles and Sylvia Fowles, and her standing among the greatest centers ever is secure, which makes the public reaction even more revealing. If you're fully confident in your legacy and your current superiority, why search your name online? Why engage strangers? Why let a young star's growing reputation bother you? Because deep down, there's awareness of what viewers are beginning to see. The league is shifting, not due to a lack of talent from veterans, but because the game itself is transforming. Players like Boston embody the direction. Faster tempo, defensive flexibility, expanded skill sets. Watching that transition unfold while your effectiveness declines can't be easy. Still, telling a rising player she isn't on your level doesn't rewrite what happened during those matchups.
if the Aces are now the gold standard and they're able to regroup and get better, you gotta be tough to beat the Aces. Because you're gonna have the referees are not gonna be on your side. It is gonna be a mental challenge. You need to be physically tough and mentally tough to get past the Aja Whistle and that team. And having a big who has basically gotten into the head of, not only gotten into the head with the whole elbow situation, Aliyah Boston has rendered Brittney Griner.
There's also a larger conversation the WNBA may eventually need to confront. The league's stars are extremely online. Not just Griner, many players monitor mentions, read criticism, and respond in real time. From the outside, it looks draining, and it can't be healthy. The volume of harsh, sometimes cruel commentary directed at athletes daily is staggering. No one deserves that level of hostility, which makes their continued presence in those spaces surprising. Many people would walk away entirely for the sake of peace. Yet there seems to be an impulse to defend reputations publicly, to correct narratives instantly. The problem? Internet arguments rarely produce winners. More often, they amplify negativity and create the appearance of defensiveness.
Over the next, maybe last 3 years of her career, easily $1 million by exposing her playstyle, exposing her archetype. So yeah, there's no reason why she should like Aliyah Boston. And as a Fever fan, I'm glad she doesn't. Because let's be real, I don't want rival centers to like my center. If I'm worried about whether or not a rival center likes my center, then dear Lord, we're screwed. We're screwed, like, as a team. You don't have the benefit of the Asia whistle. When you don't have that benefit, and when you don't have that benefit of being, you know, buddy like in Asia, buddy, and then as soon as the ball gets thrown in, using that to your advantage when you're a killer, and you make sure that, you know, all the teammates aren't in full killer mode and you are using that to your advantage. Like, make no mistake about it, Asia Wilson is a mentality fucking monster when it comes down to it, in the grand scheme of things. And she knows how to use that to her advantage. Aliyah Boston getting the other teams big, fired up for games, I'll take it, because I'm confident that two bigs being fired up against each other, trying to get into a scoring contest.
So where does this leave things? Whether either player embraces the label or not, this has the makings of a legitimate rivalry. Next season, every Fever Mercury meeting will carry extra tension. Analysts will dissect every collision. Fans will debate intent behind every whistle. And truthfully, that benefits the league. Authentic rivalries, not staged drama, fuel attention. When elite competitors genuinely push each other, audiences respond. But the battle needs to remain on the hardwood. Once it spills online, everyone risks looking diminished. Public back and forth can suggest insecurity, while silence, like Boston has maintained so far, prevents escalation. What makes the future especially compelling is Indiana's trajectory. With Caitlin Clark gaining experience, Boston expanding her offensive arsenal, and Stephanie White setting a demanding tone from the sideline, the Fever appear built to contend. Phoenix, meanwhile, faces difficult questions. Salary constraints limit flexibility. Diana Taurasi isn't getting younger, and Griner's market perception may have shifted after this season. Rebuilding isn't simple without resources, and they know Indiana's style poses problems regardless of any personal tension, which means this matchup isn't fading anytime soon. It's just getting started.